Sorry,
I'm
no.
reading
well,
you.
then the whole thing
I'll
doesn't
explain
make
to you
any
why
sense.
it's relevant. I'll explain to you why it's relevant. Remember Long Live Leninism? Remember that document that we talked about? I'm going to read to you from this document in which Mao calls out Khrushchevite revisionism. This is what he said, quote, "It would be in the best interests of the people if the proletariat could obtain power and carry out the transition to socialism by peaceful means. It would be wrong not to make use of such a possibility when it occurs. Whenever an opportunity for peaceful development of the revolution presents itself, communists must firmly seize it, as Lenin did, so as to realize the aim of the socialist revolution. The question is not whether the proletariat is willing to carry out a peaceful transformation. It is rather whether the bourgeoisie will accept such a peaceful transformation. This is the only way in which the followers of Lenin approach the question. So is Mao a dirty, rotten revisionist because he says if we can have a peaceful transition, that's better? I mean, is that a crime? That's all I've ever said, is that it would be better to have a peaceful transition. I don't advocate violence. I advocate a peaceful transition. And if there is a violent revolution, that's because the capitalists won't allow a peaceful transition. Jason, it really grinds my gears because my whole life people have been telling me that communists are murderers, communists are terrorists, communists advocate violence. But everywhere in the world that there's been a communist revolution, it's only happened. The violent revolution has only happened because we tried to organize peacefully and our democratic rights were suppressed. Ultra-leftism, punchism, Blanquism, terrorism have always been rejected by revolutionaries. Why are you trying to help the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI shut down peaceful revolutionary organizations that are trying to organize peacefully? Mao clearly in that document is saying, if a peaceful revolution is possible, that's what we want to do. There's nothing revisionist about saying that. That's called scientific Marxism, Jason. And when it's not possible, the people have a right to defend themselves. And the revolutions of history have been acts of self-defense when people had no other choice. We are not bomb throwers. We're not punchists. I think you said revolution is when you take a gun and start shooting. No, revolution is when people start organizing in their communities for their rights to make a better country, and the grinding gears of imperialism and capitalism get in their way when they have no other choice. Violent revolutions only happen because the capitalists block a peaceful transition. And this is a historical fact that is obscured by the propaganda against communism. And I don't know why that makes you so angry. Go ahead.
Okay, you cut me off literally when I was in the middle of answering you. That quote by Mao was a statement. It was a politically pushed statement. It wasn't sincere. It's like when the U.S. says, oh, wait, I know, please shut the fuck up and let me answer, and keep making your cute little Vosh faces. That it's just like when they say, you can't shut up, can you? I know you're a great talker. I am trying to answer you.
You just called Mao a liar? You just said that Mao was lying. He wanted there to be bloodshed in the streets. He wanted there to be killing. He didn't want a peaceful transition. He was just a psychopath who wanted to kill. That's what you just said. Mao was lying. It wasn't a sincere statement. No, it was. The Chinese people didn't want a civil war. Chiang Kai-shek and U.S. imperialism forced a civil war on them. How dare you?
I can't even fucking answer. I can't answer. You keep muting me as I'm trying to answer.
Faces and you got
You're
angry.
talking over me when I'm trying to answer you.
Go ahead and answer. Tell me about how Mao wanted violence and killing.
No, Mao didn't want it, but he knew that's what it was going to come down to.
That was what I said.
I'm trying to answer you. Shut up. You're not letting me answer. It's a political statement to trying to make it look like he was trying to avoid war when he knew very well that it was going to be war. Everybody knew it was going to be war. There wasn't going to be any peaceful thing, but he was trying to make it look like that he was pushing that. That is done by leaders from every end of the spectrum. Yes, let me answer, please.
The imperialists forced a war. There's another statement by Mao called Chiang Kai-shek is forcing civil war. That's what he said. Yes, Mao preferred a peaceful transition, and it wasn't possible because Chiang Kai-shek wouldn't allow it. But your notion that somehow advocating a peaceful transition is revisionist goes against everything I just read you from Long Live Leninism and from Mao.
You fucking cut me off when I'm answering you again, and I'm just going to leave. Because you're a fucking coward. You're interrupting. You're constantly interrupting me and then cutting me off when I try to answer. I was literally answering you when you muted me.
Go ahead and answer.
First of all, my personal opinion is that that's bullshit and Lenin was wrong. But let's say These are things that Lenin tells people to do that he knows aren't going to work. This is the path we take. And then when it gets proven that there is no peaceful transition, then you go to violence. That's the point. And frankly, I've really had it with you cutting me off and preventing me from answering you, and then talking over me when I'm trying to answer you, because that's the kind of dishonest piece of shit you really are. If this was the last thing to be talked about, I'm calling you a liar. You're a fucking pathological liar. So if that was the last subject that we had to talk about, I think I'm going to go.